I don't know if any of you have heard of Tessimond. You know, I hadn't, but he's brilliant, and he's from Claughton Village. It was really weird how I got to know about him was when I've got like a little Wilfred Owen museum in Argyle Street, and when I've been out about a week or something, this like a street person came in and said, you know, what are you doing celebrating this bloke when he's not from round here? Because Wilfred Owen was born in Oswald Street and came here when he was 4. So you know what they're like around here, the sticklers, aren't they? You know. So he said, there's this bloke that's better than him, and he said, no, he actually was born here. And so he was telling me about him, and I'd never heard of him. And then a week later, this popped through the door, and I'm not saying he'd got, you know, I sort of collared him in the streets, and I said, that was really good of you, you know. And he, you know, he got it off. He got it from somewhere. He got some of his order off eBay or something. But it had taken quite a big chunk of his benefits. And so, you know, of course, like I had to read it, you know. And I was just an instant fan. So what I've done. I've done this kind of thing before, been guilty of this before. I set Wilfred Owen poems to music, and also Sylvia Plath stuff, but I've enjoyed this one most. This has been the most pleasurable. It just seems, it's just so lyrical. So anyway, I called it Cats and Fiddles because he was, there he is over there, there he is. Jack Tessimond, Jackie liked to be known as. Cats and Fiddles, he loved cats, and he was obsessed with music hall, and when he was here, you know, there's an awful lot of music halls in Birkenhead. So anyway, it's got little songs in it, his poems set to music, and there's a bit of narration, but don't clap or boo. You don't have to clap or boo all the way through it. Just say it at the end, and, or any flowers. Or anything, Okay, this is what's saying. This is just like a little overture thing I've written to set it up, and then it's his. Why do the stars populate the sky but never fly? They fall into the sea and then they die. The children of the moon you wish by. Why does the sea defiantly push itself up above the ground, only for the wind to cut it down? Springtime's pretenders to the crown. Through the city flows a river of lonely people whose lives are passing by before their eyes, like lines of poetry. Why does a dream appear in the night as something real, but only in the light is it revealed of something that will never ever be? Through the city flows a river of lonely people whose lives are passing by before their eyes, just like lines of poetry. This is Cats by Tessimond himself. Cats no less liquid than their shadows, offer no angles to the wind. They slip diminished through loopholes, less than themselves they can't be pinned. twist enticing through curving fingers and leave an angered empty fist. They wait, obsequious as darkness, quick to retire, quick to return, admit no aim or ethics. They flatter with reservation but will not learn to answer to their names. But truly seldom old till shut skin. Cats no less liquid than their shadows, offer no angles to the wind. Arthur Seymour John Tessimond was born in Claughton Village, Birkenhead in 1902. His parents, it seemed, were cold and distant, typically Edwardian, and the adoration that Jack, as he liked to be known, craved was found in the affections of a kindly aunt. He attended the Birkenhead School, which was academically renowned, but he was a born romantic and he longed to climb the walls of this world. And few walls were higher than those of Claughton, where the gentry built their lofty sandstone follies to elevate them from the lowly workers' cottages in nearby Bidston. Last word to childhood. Ice-cold fear has slowly decreased. As my bones have grown, my height has increased. And though I shiver in snow of dreams, I shall never freeze again in that noonday terror. I shall never break, my sinews crumble as Godhead Master fingers crumble at the other side of unopening doors, which I'll watch for 100,000 years. I shall never feel my thin blood leak while darkness stretches its hand to strike. Oh, nothing beats an approaching drum behind my back in a silent room. I shall never alone meet the end of my world at the bend of a path, at the turn of a wall. Never or once, more only end, and that will be once an end to an end. To cure his head full of dreams and an unhealthy love of music hall, there were 15 theatres in his vicinity in Birkenhead at the time. Tessimond was shipped off to Charterhouse School in Surrey, still one of the great boarding schools. Flights of fancy were not high on the curriculum, but escape he did for a brief period to London, where he sought to earn a living as a freelance journalist. Unfortunately, he failed to write his ticket home, but he started to compose his fledgling poetry. He returned hungry and broke, and he was forced to endure an English degree course at Liverpool University. Must be free as air to turn at any corner, to stop on any stair, to follow the shadow of any eyelash or the flare of passing hair. But today I find myself saying, I need a north or south to pull less than the fugitive eye, not part of love, but a whole. Is it the end of youth then? Youth not young unless it's wild, or is this just the slow beginning of ceasing to be a child? Playing with bricks or sun in the water, half born and half beguiled. A year ago I was saying I must be freezing. With a BA Honours degree secured, he was still convinced that his pen was the sword which would cut through his mundane existence. And again he charged headfirst to the capital to win his prize. London. I'm a city of two divided cities, where the eyes of the rich and the poor collide in wonder, where the beggar's voice is low and unexpected, and in the clubs the feet of the servants are soft on the floor, and the world's wind scarcely stirs the leaves of the times. I'm a reticent private city, a city of lovers hiding wrapped in the shadows, a city of people sitting talking quietly beyond shut doors and walls as thick as a century. People who laugh too little or laugh too loudly, whose tears fall inward, flowing back to the heart. Erasing anger and angles and scribing gestures, whose dusk will come like tact, like a changing conversation, violet and indigo with strings of lemon streetlights, casting their pools into pools of rain, as the notes of a piano are cast from a top floor window, in a square where it's always Sunday afternoon. Initially, after a disastrous spell as an accountant, which led to a lifelong distrust of money, and even a short-lived position as a teacher, which resulted in an aversion to small children. He also worked in bookshops for a time, but he spent far more time reading them than selling them. Surprisingly, it was the soulless world of advertising where he found his niche. He excelled in this dishonest art, where the slogans and hoodwinking replaced the sincerity of prose. An indoor elephant seems irrelevant, keeping a seagull, it's not legal. Armadillos, they nest in pillows. Hungry llamas, they'll eat your pajamas. A hippo and a rhino, they could damage the lino. And crocodiles stay in the bath all day. Women get flustered if a large buzzard, eagle or a lion, Such birds as a grouse, they flap around the house. Polar bears, they always block up the stairs. Sheep and loafers on chairs and sofas, and few sane men could love a hen. Most people therefore, they prefer to care for a dog or a cat, and that is that. Upon the death of his father, Tessimond inherited a large sum of money, and it allowed him to live a last life of a poet, and he could now afford to buy the affection which he was so starved as a child. Taking lodgings in Chelsea's most Bohemian quarter, he frittered away his legacy on a long line of dancers, strippers, models and prostitutes. None of these relationships were ever consummated or even reciprocated. They were simply a financial transaction. His inability to form emotional or sexual attachments led to bouts of manic depression, which he hid from the world and never touched upon in his poems. His melancholia was magnified through the bottom of glasses of wine, which he'd become dependent on. His drinking provided no answers, just loneliness. Thrills were fleeting. He could never seem to grasp the moth before it perished in the flame of love. The prostitutes. I'm who you seek. I'm the one you want to see. Anyone or no one, a mirror or an empty face, oh, so many faces. Now me and now you choose me. I am wife and sister, mistress, mother and daughter. To one he sought but never found. To one he found, and he changed. And he hated. Pouring me like a glass, the wine you need. Write on me like a page the words you wish. You may think that you drug me. I fancy you. I fancy you despise me. But no, you are the one that's despised. I have drugged you. And when you wake in the morning, you'll remember nothing but just a little warmth for a while, and this hollow that's left in a creaking bed. For his own sanity, Tessimond moved briefly to Paris, falling madly in love with the impossibly erotic creatures of the burlesque. Captivated by the nightlife that danced until it fell into the arms of the morning, and then the Persian cats strolled majestically home. Together with love of music, cats were the pet subject in Tessimond's best-known poems, though he never owned one himself. He preferred other people's. and other people's lives and other people's cities. Autumn, Tessimond. Already men are brushing up brown leaves around Saturn parks. A marble arch the night's drawing upon expounders of Karl Marx. By the round pond, lovers feel heavy dews grow uneasy. Elderly men don overcoats, catch cold and sniff, become hoarse and weak. Grey clouds streak across the chill white sky, refuge and papers blow. About the gutters, shoppers hurry oppressed by a vague autumnal woe. The cats pick amongst the empty gold flake boxes, sniffing hordes. From frowsy fish shops they seem beruffled, limp of tail and out of sorts. Policemen are pale and finned a sickle. The navvy's arm wilts and relaxes. With more than usual bitterness, bus drivers curse impulsive taxis. A general malaise descends, a desire for not one can say. And the autumn once more brings the pang of this our annual decay. Already men are brushing up brown leaves around Saturn parks. Now suffering such a malaise himself, Tessimond returned to his beloved city of London for a final time, where shortly after undergoing electric shock treatment for his depressions, as his streets and lanes and pubs and clubs and parks glowed with early spring sunlight, his eyes closed like an umbrella after a short storm. Lying for days before being discovered by a friend who thought he may need more wine. He was dead in his sleep, while the city dreamed on, stealing home like a hungry cat. The useful and domestic cat, adorning the familial mat. Now at the fall of the purple dawn, suffers a change, sheds the husk of civilization, returns to his primeval self. He burns with an artistical nomad dream, longs to be abroad and free. No longer loves the household laws, but seeks the cruel, cruel stars. Now in his passage gleam, his fair unsleeks, his features seem to assume a diabolical leer. His eyes expand. He cocks an ear, and all the urbanity of man turns to the humanity of day. And when comes the dawn, with slack desire, he sits once again before the fire. I just finished with his last poem. It's called Lover's Conversation. We too so much, so often. Why does the heart so quickly harden and slowly soften? Love hurts the lover who sighs and cries for release from the joy that is partly sorrow and passion that is never, never peace. Thank you.